En weer een nieuwe aflevering. We zijn vandaag in de Animal Kingdom. Het was even lastig om binnen te komen, niet voor ons, maar de mensen voor ons. Dus we konden ook niet door naar binnen. Kijk, en hier lopen ook vrij rond door de parken. En ik zie daar een fotograaf die niks staat te doen. Dus die gaan we eens even aan zijn mouwen trekken. En dan zullen we daar eens kijken wat we nog meer kunnen beleven hier. Dan zien we jullie. We gaan nu even de fotograaf aan zijn jas trekken, als hij de camera heeft. Een wandelende tak, Joyce.
Oh ja.
Nou, we hebben een leuke attractie gevonden. Het is wel eventjes wachten. Het is Dinosaur. Ik ben heel benieuwd wat het gaat worden. Ik heb er nog niet echt in verdiept wat voor attractie het is. Ik heb wel half zoiets gelezen en begrepen dat het een hele mooie attractie is. Maar dan gaan we er zonder oordeel gaan we erin. En dan laten we daar weten wat we ervan vonden. Nou, we hebben juist dino attractie gehad. Op zich wel leuk. Hobbelig.
Hobbelig, mijn t-shirt zat...
T-shirt zat eruit. Ja, ja, ik weet niet. Ik vond het een beetje trubbelig. Bonkerig, hoe moet ik dat zeggen. Je schudde alle kanten op. Ik kon het verhaal niet echt volgen. Maar op zich is het wel leuk. Maar als je dan de animaties van de andere attracties ziet, vond je dit een beetje tegenvallen. Maar op zich heel leuk gemaakt hoor. En ik kom nog even goeiedag zeggen. We gaan dadelijk nog de safari doen. En nog even kijken waar we onderweg tegenkomen. Want wij komen... Joyce, waar kwam je nou weer tegen? Winkeltjes. Ja. Nee, past niet meer in de koffer. Ik zal dadelijk even een foto toevoegen van de beeldjes die we tot nu toe hebben. En ik denk 2 koffers en een handbagage vol is. En dan moeten de andere spullen nog mee terug. Oh Joyce, kijk, zie je wel leuk, die kleertjes. Kun je je poppetje aankleden. Zo'n setje. T-shirtje hebben we gisteren gekocht in de outlet voor $1,99. En wat kost die hier? $21,99. Dus mensen, als je hierheen gaat, ga naar de outlets. Wij hebben daar van die kleine poppetjes zo. Dit formaat. Die hier...
Maar hier hebben ze
Kijk even in, zo maar. Nou ja, die hebben wij daar dus gekocht voor $1,99. Ja, als je die wil, pak je niet. Nou, we gaan nog even meer vulling voor de koffer zoeken. Of nog een extra koffer, denk ik. Denk eerder. Wij zien jullie daar nog weer. Nou, we zijn bijna aan de beurt. We staan een uur al in de wachtrij. Ik ben er al even vlug tussenuit gepiept voor een kort toiletbezoekje. En dan langs de lijn weer terug. Ik moet zeggen, die Amerikanen hier die laat je ook zonder problemen door, zonder te mopperen. Daarachter staat echt wel een heel groot stuk waar we in gestaan hebben. Er hangen hier overal tv's. Joyce heeft maar beestjes gezien. Konijn en rat zonder oren, iets? Ja?
Nee, ik had al rat en voor konijn, alleen had geen oren.
Ja, die liep hier gewoon tussen de wachtrij door. Ik heb ze niet gezien, dus ik weet geen idee wat het is. Maar hier achter rijden de bussen al. Als je door de struiken heen kijkt daar, er staat al een bus. Even de kaart. Kijk, daar heb je al een bus. Dus we zijn er bijna. Nou ja, bijna. Daar nog helemaal heen. En dan moeten we de hoek nog om. En dan komen we bij de bus uit. Dus we gaan we weer opnemen als we dadelijk in de bus zitten. Nou, we zijn bijna aan de beurt. Hierachter zie je de bus al aankomen. Ja, daar gaan we dan dadelijk ook inzetten. Benieuwd wat het is onderweg.
To ensure a safe and pleasant trip, you should be in good health and free from high blood pressure.
Hanging out with each other for a while today. If your entire party does not fit, that is quite all right. We'll get you on that next truck.
Nou, we zitten in de bus. Joyce ook. En dan gaan we zo.
Morning, which just means thank you here in Swahili. We also like to say twinde, which just means let's go. So jump everyone, wave everybody goodbye, wish them good luck on their safari journey as we are about to head into the reserve. My name is Michelle. I'll be your safari tour guide today here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. But a few reminders before we head on in. Please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. And we also want to keep our volumes down to a minimum. We don't want to spook any of the animals out here inside of their own homes, even though it's getting close to Halloween, because they'll get super close to our truck here. We'll have all the beautiful views today if we stay nice and quiet for them. But I love the excitement though. Is this anybody's first safari? Raise your hand high. Yay! Oh, well, welcome. Every safari will be different, so if you're here for a first time, welcome. But if you're here back for another time, welcome back. There's always something new or cool to see out here in the reserve. We are going to be entering the military forest first, where animals are going to be hiding deep within the bushes and trees, both left and right side. So keep your eyes peeled. Starting here on the far right, kind of hiding, is the okapi. The okapi is actually related to the giraffe, not the zebra, because they, even though they have those stripes, they have a prehensile tongue, which just means they use that tongue like a finger to munch on the leaves and bushes nearby. Now, as you can see, it's very good at hiding way back there. The first ever picture taken of a wild okapi was in 2018, so their camouflage is quite unique, helping them stay nice and hidden from predators, which is super important here in the Little Ituri Forest and other forest ecosystems. That's why those trees and bushes are so useful. You can help out by reducing, reusing, and recycling paper, or also switching over to bamboo. Bamboo is a grass species that grows about 3 feet a day, so very abundant, much stronger than paper. But a beautiful view of the black rhinos here on your far left side. There's 2 of them. They are very solitary creatures, so they like to hang out by themselves rather than with others, so they are very, very reserved. But they have those beautiful prehensile pointed loops, kind of looks like an upside down triangle, allowing them to munch on the leaves nearby. Now those horns are made of keratin, the same protein as your hair and fingernails, so quite a strong material there. And there's much smaller species of rhino, only weighing about 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. Here on your right is a beautiful view of the saddle-billed storks, standing about 5 feet tall with that beautiful light pink coloration to them. That takes about 2 years to develop after eating lots of brine. Oh goodness, what am I talking about? They have that beautiful yellow color on their beak, kind of looking like a saddle. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. They stand about 5 feet tall, and they don't have vocal cords, so when they want to speak to one another, they'll actually just rattle their beaks, which is quite impressive. Over here on your left are the greater kudu, these light brown antelopes. They only live about 8 years old in the wild, so they really rely on all these bushes and trees nearby to help them stay nice and hidden. But they don't have horns on top of their heads because these are females. The males will have these beautiful large spirally horns. They're very precious. But we are leaving the Little Ituri Forest now. We are going to head over to Safi River next. Safi River will be on the right side of the truck, then the left, and then we'll cross over onto a bridge, so we'll keep our eyes peeled down below for any animals hanging out that way. Looks like the weather is quite amazing today, so we are a little bit backed up. We're going to give that truck a little bit more room before we head on into Safi River, because we are the better safari. We want all the better views today. Any other tree all around the world because it's part of the water cycle. So if you help out by limiting your use of water, then it not stay polluted, because eventually you'll end up drinking water as well. So it's super important to keep that water nice and clean. But that also helps out these lovely animals that we'll hopefully see out here at Safi River. We're just going very slow right now, which means pole pole in Swahili. If you say the same word twice in Swahili, it just means very, kind of like temu temu in the middle of the village. It means very sweet, just like those Dole Whips. Love them. But we are about to creep on into Safi River, where we're going to see a plethora of birds down below. Now I got so excited. My favorite are the pink-backed pelicans with this beautiful pink color, hanging out in this large group called a pod, where there's over 500 pairs or over 1,000 individuals within a pod, with that beautiful pink coloration on their backs, under the wings, kind of like they're blushing during nesting season, which is so precious. They'll kind of nest on these islands or on the far side of the river. Kind of just depends on what they're trying to do or where they want to hang out at. But keep your eyes peeled as we will slowly creep into the other part of Safi River on the left as well. We'll be slowly moving here in a second. I do see a much larger animal hanging out by the river body here on your left, so keep your eyes peeled down below here. You'll see the Nile hippopotamus walking and hopping along the bottom of the river body there. Now you can see it being fully submerged under that water side with only its head poking out, because their eyes, ears, nose, and mouth are all in the same area there, allowing it to navigate those waters very easily. Now they also walk or hop along the bottom of the river bodies to help conserve their energy. They can swim, but that just helps them kind of navigate as well and conserve their energy. My back row can see, right? Perfect. We're just going to hang tight here because that truck is still up there waiting for the next truck to go on. So we're going to hang tight here for a second. But the Nile hippopotamus are very large herbivores. Even though they have those large jaws, they only eat 90 pounds of vegetation a day, so only plants, not meat. And they like to hang out in a large group called a bloat. So I do see a couple more Nile hippopotamus hanging out way over here. They are very precious though. And there's that same one kind of hopping and walking over here. They can swim, but that's just one of their ways to conserve their energy. Maybe he'll kind of poke out for us. So precious. Now bloats can be very large. There can be a lot of them in a bloat, but it kind of just depends if they all get along with one another, how large those bloats can be. Like, just keep your eyes peeled on that bottom left side. You'll see a couple more. You'll actually see one down there wiggle its tail. So precious. But we are about to head over to my favorite bridge in the world, known as Crocodile Bridge. So keep your eyes peeled down below here on this left side, where you'll see the Nile crocodiles down below. Now each one can grow to be about 16 feet long. Our truck is only 13 feet long though, so they can go longer than the length of our truck, which is quite amazing. They'll use those jaws to help cradle their eggs to help them hatch, or they'll actually prop themselves open to keep themselves nice and cool, kind of similar to when a dog pants, which is quite useful for them. But you can also tell those are crocodiles because of all those teeth. They have cheesy, teethy grins. Savannah, a very large ecosystem that can run for hundreds and hundreds of miles with few trees, but some trees can get quite large here. Out of the year to help conserve its energy, holding about 35,000 gallons of water inside of that trunk. Hence its second nickname, the Tree of Life. Some animals will actually poke their horns into the tree to drink that water. Kind of like the one in the middle of Animal Kingdom. Now, does anybody know how many animal carvings are on the Tree of Life? Any guesses? More than 26.
52.
More than 52.
200.
More than 200.
Oh my goodness.
You're almost there.
500.
Less than 500. Less than 1,000.
250.
More than 250.
300.
320. Woo! My favorite being the ant carving. Thank you guys for playing though. We are about to enter the savannah here. So all the animals here will kind of work with the plants to make the savannah the savannah. You have animals grazing on the grasses, giraffes munching on the leaves up top, and elephants bulldozing down trees. So it's a nice, wide, hot, open ecosystem most days, where animals here have adaptations or abilities to keep themselves nice and cool, but they'll also run very quickly from danger if they have to, kind of like those springboks. Springboks are known to jump or pronk about 5 to 6 feet high from standing position, but when running they can pronk the whole length of our truck, which is about 13 feet long. Kind of looks like a scared cat when doing so with their backs arched, but quite a rare sight here as they don't get spooked often. Now they are a very small species of antelope that's as big as they're going to get. Those are full grown adults. Now remember, we don't want to call out to any of these animals to actually move away from our truck. But here on the right side is a dazzle of Hartman mountain zebras. They are very precious. That's what we call a group of them. Now you may notice there are 2 babies over here. Both of them are only about 4 months old right now. They're so precious. All those stripes are unique, kind of like fingerprints to help ID who's mom, dad, sister, brother, friend. So very useful for them. Their adaptation ability to keep themselves nice and cool is that hanging skin under their neck called their dewlap, which just helps them stay nice and cool. That's their personal AC unit here on the reserve or out in the wild. But they have those beautiful white bellies and that dewlap there, so that's how you can tell it's the Hartman Mountain zebra. But take a quick over here on your left side, you're going to see the African painted dogs. The African painted dogs are very social. They hang out in a large group where they have a 90% accuracy rate when hunting with one another. But they're a little bit different than your typical dog back at home because they only have 4 paw pads, while African painted dogs or other dogs back at home will have 5 paw pads. But the African painted dogs are so precious. They're amazing hunters here on the savannah, but also good pets to have at home. Okay, for your eyes peeled on this far left side, you'll see some sable antelopes hanging out in a beautiful circle formation here, with their horns pointing outward, always ready to protect one another. As they are the emblem of a reserve, just like we protect the animals here on the reserve and out in the wild, they protect themselves very well with those beautiful horns, compared to other antelope species running away from danger, so they are quite protective there. But we're driving by these large mounds. These mounds are termite mounds made of dirt, dung, and spit. So once the sun dries them up, they could be as hard as concrete. So some animals will use it as a nice scratching post or a little bird's eye viewpoint to overlook parts of the savannah. But you may have noticed this beautiful tree line that we're driving under here. This is created by the tallest land animal on Earth, the giraffe, standing about 16 to 20 feet tall, with an extra foot up on their tongue, kind of a foot long, which is amazing. But it has that dark bluish purplish color that the giraffes have. Kind of like their cousin the okapi, they'll have that same tongue, but both love to eat all day long, creating this beautiful natural tree line. Because giraffes only sleep about 30 to 90 minutes of the day out of a whole 24-hour period. So they'll actually eat all day long, and sometimes they'll stand right in the middle of the ride path, thinking about those baobab leaves or the palm tree leaves, sometimes causing traffic jams, which I think we may currently be in one. So that is quite fun. So we'll hopefully see them up ahead, as they are quite social animals hanging out in a large group called a tower. But when they're acting silly like today, we'll call it a tower of terror because of that height. It looks like we are going to be slowly moving here. Nice and poly. Now out in the distance I do see a Maasai giraffe hanging out way over there. So they're probably hanging out in that beautiful tower over that way. But if you look at your animal spotting guide, it does say reticulated giraffe, which is a little bit different than these ones. Maasai giraffes have these beautiful patchier looking spots, while reticulated giraffes have smooth, round spots. So that's the difference between the two, but they're both giraffes, so they're both the tallest, with those beautiful little bumps on top of their heads known as ossicones, otherwise known as skin-covered bone. Starts out like your ear, that cartilage material, and then grows into that much harder bone material. Both female and male giraffes will have these, while only the male okapi will have them. So that's probably a female that we saw back in the Little Etruria Forest. Now you can see that lovely drool and the munching motion that it's doing there on your right side. That's actually very healthy for the giraffe. It shows that they're able to use those jaws to eat all day long. I actually learned that from the behind the scenes of Animal Kingdom on Disney+, so that's definitely a beautiful way to learn about everything that Disney does with the seas over at Epcot or here on the reserve with all the animals. So definitely check it out if you want to learn more. But far, far right side is also the wildebeest. The wildebeest travel in those large herds, these gray antelopes. Now, these herds have over 1.5 million in a herd. Now, they're called a confusion though, because only the first 2 or 3 actually know where they're running to. The rest will run blindly, which is quite silly. But these huge migrations happen every year with them, where you can actually see the dust storms that they create from satellite images. So you can see them all the way from space, which is quite amazing. But if you look between all of those palm trees, you may notice some large horns. Those horns are to the Ankole cattle. The Ankole cattle are the only domesticated animal here on the savannah, but they have those beautiful large horns that are very lightweight, only weighing about 12 to 13 pounds. That's their adaptation or ability to stay nice and cool, because their blood veins will run right through, giving them a nice breeze. There's those Maasai giraffes here using that prehensile tongue to munch on those leaves up there. You can see their beautiful patchier looking spots there as well. They're so precious, look at them. They're also very curious creatures, so they are hanging out way over here. There's 2 more hanging out over there on your right side. You can see how large they are too. They are quite amazing with those wildebeest over there. There's 1 more there, but we are about to dive deeper into the savannah here, into some new animal territory up ahead. So keep your eyes peeled, both left and right side. Still part of the savannah, but we'll hopefully see some new animals out this way. So on your right side, you'll see these huge red clay walls, but also on the left, you'll see some bushes where there is a mandrill monkey hopping around. This is the only time you're going to see the mandrill monkey, so just take a little peek. They are the largest monkey on Earth, with those little tails only being about 1 inch long. Now, they kind of look like Rafiki with that beautiful coloration on their faces, but Rafiki is a mix between a mandrill and a baboon, so a little bit different there. So that's why his tail is much longer, but that beautiful coloration is just the same. It grows much brighter when they're super happy, which is so precious. We're going to take a little peek over here on this right side, see if anything's hanging out by the red clay walls. I don't think, oh no, they're right there. Look at them, they're hiding right there. Those are the African elephants. They are very large animals. Now they have those beautiful large ears, kind of in the shape of Africa there. Looks like they're digging a little hole with their prehensile tongues. It's just their upper lip, which can hold about 5 to 6 gallons of water inside in order to pour it into its mouth or on its back to keep itself nice and cool. But they have also those beautiful ivory tusks that they use to gnaw at those red clay walls to then eat the red clay. Gives them lots of good vitamins, so you may see them there on your right side. Keep your eyes peeled as we go over this bridge. But did you know that everybody on board today also uses red clay? We use it as the mineral coltan. Coltan is used in all of your electronic devices like phones, cameras, smartwatches, TVs, etc. So coltan and red clay is super important to us in our technology era. But as you can see, these red clay walls are super tall, helping these African elephants stay nice and hidden from danger, such as poachers. Poachers like to poach them for their ivory tusks, which is not so good because they are now an endangered species because of that, meaning that there's not many of them left on Earth. And as you can see, there's tusk marks both left and right sides for them gnawing at that red clay wall. So we want to protect all these lovely African elephants hanging out way over there on your left side, and us humans, so we can all live in harmony with one another, which is the goal of conservation. Conservation is just that goal of keeping the balance between us humans and all the animals all around the world to live in harmony with one another. So you can help out in 4 different ways. You can promote conservation by reducing, reusing, and recycling everything you use. You can also limit your uses of resources, like turning off water when brushing your teeth. You can also switch over to more conservative products, like turning off, or you can switch over to bamboo versus paper. Or if you're able to, you can also donate. Specifically here in Animal Kingdom, if you donate to the Disney Conservation Fund, it's an amazing organization helping these animals here on the reserve, out in the wild, or even in your own backyards. For example, the Bees and Elephant projects here with the African elephants was an amazing project, helping them stay nice and balanced with everybody. But if you just round up your total with any merchandise purchase, that definitely helps out, because Disney donates the same amount you do, and you get a little fancy button for doing so, like the one I'm wearing. So an amazing organization, amazing project. But Hakuna Matata, no worries if we're not able to donate today. That is quite a-okay. We'll talk about ways to bring conservation to our own homes a little bit later, but we're currently doing the first step of conservation, which is learning about these animals to know how we can help them. So let's learn more about those African elephants hanging out in that matriarch over there. That's what we call a family of them. You can actually see how amazing and strong they are. Those trunks have more muscles than your entire human body. Fun fact, it takes about 2 full truckloads, double of what we have today, to equal the same amount of muscle as one of the larger African elephants. So very strong animals. They like to hang out over here by the watering hole, where there's also the greater flamingos here on your left side. They are the greater of their species, being the tallest, 5 feet tall, with this beautiful light pink coloration that takes about 2 years to develop after eating lots of that brine shrimp. That's actually how you can tell the age differences between them. Ones with that darker pink color are going to be much older than the ones with that white-gray feather to them. And those round parts on their legs are actually their ankles, hence why they kind of stand in silly positions sometimes. But as you can see, they're very social animals hanging out in a group called a flamboyance, which is so precious. But we are leaving the watering hole here. We're going to dive deeper into the savannah. So keep your eyes peeled. You may get one last good view on that far left side of a few more African elephants over there. Just keep your eyes peeled on that far left side. There's one more. Otherwise, here we are in some rhino territory. Now, these are the beautiful white rhinos here on our left side that are blind. So we want to stay a little bit more quiet. Now, they can only see about 10 feet away from their eyes, which is why a group of them is called a crash. Those horns are still made of keratin, though the same keratin as your hair and fingernails, but the white rhinos are a little bit different because they have beautiful flat lips compared to the black rhino having prehensile pointed lips. And they're much larger than the black rhino, weighing about 3,000 to 4,000 pounds comparison to the 2,000 and 3,000 pounds. So they are quite precious. They also make these huge mud puddles right here called a mud wallow. We call it mud wallowing when they create these because it's kind of like a poolside for them. Keeps themselves nice and cool. But also when they roll around in that mud, they actually cover themselves, kind of acting like a natural sunscreen for them. But keep your eyes peeled on this far left side. Kind of hard to see, but there are some cheetahs way back there. Cheetahs are the fastest land animal on 4 legs, running about 70 miles per hour, with this beautiful black coloration, especially under their eyes, helping them see, kind of like a natural sunglasses, which is very useful. But take a quick little peek over to your right. You'll see some little white rhinos hanging out way over there in the shadows. They love to play in the little bushes over there. It's so precious. Now, cheetahs only run that 70 miles per hour in short sprints because they don't have much endurance, so they don't run for a long time. Here's a much better view of one hanging out on your left side with that beautiful long tail. They'll use that long tail to help balance when running. Now, they are very solitary creatures. They like to hang out by themselves rather than with others. But if they are part of the same family like brother and sister, they kind of tolerate each other's presence. Now it sounds like an animal is crossing up ahead, so we're going to hang tight right here a little bit more. It sounds like it has moved out of the right path though, so we should be moving fairly soon here. But just like other feline creatures, cheetahs can jump. They can actually climb all of those lovely trees to find any predators if they wanted to. Quite useful for them. But that beautiful aerodynamic body allows them to run those high speeds, so very useful for them. But they're very precious. This is such a beautiful view of them. They're usually very solitary, liking to hide behind all those bushes. And their camouflage is quite unique too, helping them stay nice and hidden. Very precious. Alrighty friends, we are going to keep on going now though, because the truck has moved on ahead. We're going to head over to a huge rock formation up ahead where we'll hopefully see somebody getting a nice bird's eye view of the savannah in order for their next meals or to protect themselves. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. We'll actually go all around the whole rock formation here. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll hopefully see maybe something on the other side if we don't see something on this side. But there's also the whole right side of the truck too, so something may come out from those bushes and shrubs like those white rhinos that we saw hiding within the trees. It does look like we are still a little backed up from that animal moving across the ride path there, so we'll just hang tight here for a second. But keep your eyes peeled, you never know what will come out from the bushes. Some animals will get the lovely zoomies when it's nice and cool out like today. Never know what you'll see over here. There is some more white rhinos hanging out over on your right side. So very social animals. so precious. I believe that it's one of the babies on the reserve as well. So he's a little bit smaller. Oh my goodness, but look, if you can kind of see that little grass shrub on the rock. Right behind it is a female lion. Now she is known as the lioness because she doesn't have any mane or fur around her head, while the male lion will have that beautiful large mane. Now they love to sleep all day long. They'll sleep about 20 hours of the day to help conserve their energy because that fur can get super hot out here on the savannah. So very useful for them to sleep. Fun fact, the lioness, the female, will actually do the hunting towards the afternoon and evening, while the male lion will actually stay back and protect the territory. Looks like he's laying right behind her. That is so precious. But they are much more social than cheetahs, so they hang out in a large group called a pride. And if you want to say lion in Swahili, you could just say Simba, just like the movie.
Simba.
So very precious. We are heading over to some burrows up ahead. We'll hopefully see some more reserved animals. But looking up ahead, it looks like the ostriches were crossing the ride path up here. Ostriches are the fastest land animal on 2 legs, running about 20 to 30 miles per hour compared to the 70 miles per hour of the cheetah on 4 legs. With those beautiful little wings kind of acting like a steering wheel to make those sharp, crazy turns. They did recently lay some eggs, so they're probably just hanging out over there, protecting their eggs over there. We'll hopefully see those eggs once they head over that way, but keep your eyes peeled on all these burrows. Depending on the animal, they actually may reuse burrows or make their own, so depending on what type of house they're looking for, it just depends. And some animals have very good camouflage, so look for any fluffy fur. I don't think I see anything though. They may be hiding on the other side of the rocks, who knows? But we are going to get super close to those ostriches up there, which will be amazing. There's some more white rhinos hanging out on your right side. Now they were actually named flat-lipped rhino, but it was actually translated wrong from another language to white rhino. So that's where they get that name from. Very precious. But it looks like we're going to get a beautiful close-up view of the ostriches here on your left side. I don't think I see anything within the burrows, but take a quick peek over to your right side as well. Oh, there they are. So those are the warthogs hanging out right there. They are the largest mammal to burrow, kind of like Pumbaa with those little horns on their faces, helping protect themselves. They'll actually reuse burrows. But take a quick peek over to your right now. There are those ostrich eggs, each one being about 3 pounds. And if you're able to stand on one, they would not break because they are the larger, stronger eggs on Earth. Now, fun fact, if another ostrich wanted to lay their eggs, they would lay it right next to that nest because they are quite social animals. They like to help protect each other. But we are leaving the savannah. We're going to head over to the warden's post though and see what they have in store for us for today. And look guys, it looks like there's some cute animals up ahead. These are going to be the Nigerian dwarf goats. These guys make some really good milk and cheese, so the wardens actually collected these items, taking the truck out to sell those items back in the village, which is good for economic reasons, but also good for profit as they don't, in nature as well, because they don't take up a lot of farmland, which is one of the ways that the warden promotes conservation. There's also that yellow hanging box there, part of the Bees and Elephant project, kind of acting like an insect hotel for those bees, giving them nice habitats to live in. There's also the rain barrels collecting rainwater to reuse, and also all those clothes on this clothesline helping save electricity by drying those clothes outside. But hopefully that inspires you guys to bring conservation to your own homes and your own backyard. But speaking of home, our time is slowly coming to an end here as we are heading back to the village. So Asante Sana friends, thank you so much for joining me on the Kilimanjaro Safaris. I had a wild time with you guys. Once more though, my name is Michelle, here from Georgia College, just recently graduated with my degree in environmental science. So I love hanging out with the animals here. I love talking about them as well, especially the water bucks. Now we didn't see them today, but they have some really cute heart-shaped noses, and this species of antelope loves water. They drink about 5 to 9 gallons of water a day, which is a good reminder for you guys to stay nice and hydrated out here in Animal Kingdom. If this doesn't make you thirsty, I don't know what will, so definitely head over to any dining location or a quick service for free. Grab that ice cold cup of water. Definitely use that for your next adventure. But speaking of next adventures, if you are looking for something to do, Rafiki's Planner Watch is amazing. The last train ride does leave at 4:30, so definitely go check it out before then. But it's a 5-minute train ride over to the Conservation Center where you can earn some Wilderness Explorer badges and pet some of those Nigerian dwarf goats. But if you are a Wilderness Explorer on board, that code word is going to be Simba1. Simba 1 is just the name of our truck. But there's also all the animals all around Animal Kingdom you can go check out, like those walking trails and everything else. But here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye because that's way too final and far too sad. Here we say Kwaharini, which just means to go well.
There's so many in there. No. Well, if you walk around, you see the waterfall. Come on.
Piranhas?
Daar gingen ze dat voeren.
Joyce, hier achter. Denk ik dan.
Look, he's looking at me. Oh, he's looking at me. Look.
Nou, we hebben net het gorillapad gedaan. En nu kwamen we een treintje tegen, dus nu gaan we... Ja, we gaan met de trein mee. We hebben het gorillapad gehad en ik dacht dat je ergens krokodillen kon zien. Ik zag mensen op een brug staan met krokodillen. Maar geen krokodil gezien. Ik heb heel die brug niet gezien. Dus geen idee waar die zit. We staan hier nu. En benieuwd waar de trein ons heen gaat brengen. Ja, we zitten in de trein vast. We hebben technische problemen, dus we moeten blijven zitten. Al die moeten eigenlijk nog terug naar het park. Dat ben je ook straks. We zitten nu ergens midden in de safari op zijn observatiepunt, heel ver van het park af. En de trein gaat nu.
Once again, please remain seated.
Ja, we hebben geen idee. We blijven maar even rustig zitten om te kijken wat er nou gaat gebeuren. Ik denk dat we zo eruit mogen, dat die trein gewoon niet zo ver doorgereden is. En we zijn uit de trein. Nou gaan we hier even een stukje lopen om te kijken wat hier allemaal is. Ik heb al iets heel leuks gezien. Hier recht vooruit. Jullie zien het nog niet. Je mogen raden wat het is. En zet maar in de commentaren hier beneden. En wat zien wij hier? Kijk, ja. Toch een leuk welkomsttoon, hè? Volgens mij is Joyce aan het kijken of die... Zijn er weer bellen? Nou, waar we nou zijn, krijgen we een kijkje achter de schermen. Hoe ze hier omgaan met dierenwelzijn. Kijk, ze hebben hier zelf een complete operatiekamer. De dokter staat al klaar hier. Daar op de balie staat de dokter al klaar. Hier hebben ze allemaal dieren staan.
Oh yeah, oh I see.
Dat is een mooie blauwe kikker. Ja, nog meer blauwe kikkers. Ja, hier blauwe kikkers onder de bladeren zitten.
Blauwe kikkers.
Ja, dat zijn wel leuk. Leg je hand er eens langs. De snackbar voor de dieren. Hier wordt al het eten klaargemaakt. En hier ligt allemaal voorbeelden wat ze kunnen eten.
Beest. Ja, dat is ook geen beest. Wat is het hier?
Ja, een schildpad.
Zoek het beest.
Ja, recht vooruit Joyce, kijk maar naar de camera.
Zie je?
Nou, wij zijn weer weg bij de Animal Kingdom. Het was vrij druk. Bij heel veel attracties 2 uur wachten. We zijn nu naar Springs gegaan. Dan gaan we even eten. We gaan daar eten bij Planet Hollywood. Maar we waren hier even aan het kijken, want we zagen hier een grote dinosaurus staan. De T-Rex. Binnen is ook leuk, Joyce. Dinosaurus. Ik denk niet dat jullie me nog kunnen horen als binnen, want binnen was best wel lawaaiig. Dus even een rondje binnen maken. Ja, het lijkt een beetje op Rainforest Cafe. En ook souvenirs, souvenirs, souvenirs. Deze dinosaurus bewoog net. Ik denk dat hij op tijdslot zit of zo. Dit vindt Joyce helemaal leuk. Ja, knuffels vullen. Hier draait een zachte vulling rond. Dan kun je een knuffel kopen, die kun je vullen. En dan kun je allerlei leuke kleertjes kopen. Een bruiddino. Kijk, hier worden ze dan gevuld. Hier kies je je dinosaurus uit. En hier worden ze gevuld. Dan doen ze iets in de dinosaurus wat geluk brengt. Ik denk dat ze daar een hartje of zo in doen. Ja, het hart van de dinosaurus. En dan mogen de kinderen erop staan. Nou, even voelen of dat hij goed zit. Touwtje dicht trekken. Dan gaat er weer iets gebeuren, zelfs bij de Rainforest Café. Kijk, nu gaat de dinosaurus bewegen. aan het uitzoeken. Hier staat jouw bruidje. Nee, de dino is niet leuk. En we hebben geen plek meer in de koffer.
Nee, dat is niet.
Wij gaan eten naar...
Kom, we gaan eten. Plaats
Ja, we gaan eten. We hebben honger. Wij zien jullie zo bij Planet Hollywood. Joyce, daar kun je eten in het theater. Planet Hollywood. Alleen dit is exit only. Wij moeten hier aan de voorkant naar binnen en er zal wel een wachtrij zijn. Hier heb je ook de speciale Coca-Cola vestiging. We zijn van de week geweest. Daar kun je 16 verschillende soorten Coca-Cola proeven. Maar we gaan eens kijken of we bij Planet Hollywood binnen kunnen komen. Gewoon berichten. And we make a special entrance. Huh? Nou, we hebben lekker gegeten. Dat was veel te veel voor ons. Echt veel te veel. Maar nou, dat was het voor deze aflevering. Het is nog licht, maar wij gaan nog eventjes naar een outlet en daarna gaan we naar het hotel. Morgen weer vroeg op. Morgen staat Universal op het programma. En zin in Joyce Universal. Harry Potter. Mocht niks meer kopen. Past niet in de koffer, dus ik heb gezegd goedkope toverstaf kunnen we alles kleiner maken. Dus kunnen we nog meer kopen. Ik kreeg net tip hier van iemand. Koop gewoon een extra koffer bij. American Airlines doet niet zo moeilijk. $50, $60 en dan heb je een extra koffer mee. Dus dan gaan we nog eventjes uitzoeken hoe dat precies werkt. En misschien kopen we wel een extra koffer. Kunnen we nog meer kopen? Ik ben gek, ja. Nou, bedankt voor het kijken. En nummer 4 komt eraan. En dan gaan we Universal in. Hey, fijne dag. Doei doei.
Can I get some money? On 4.
Attention, explorers! Billionaire adventurer Scrooge McDuck and his faithful travel companion Launchpad McQuack are on yet another quest to quench their thirst for adventure. Now admiring the African port town.
Film.